Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Gamey Daddy channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about the genius level of Tom Clancy's The Division 2 and most especially games like it. But before we actually dive into that, something is really pertinent that I feel like a lot of people here in the community need to pay a lot of attention to, and that is right now the news that's surfaced about a potential test that's going to be coming for The Division Heartland. Now, I saw this article and somebody actually put this on Twitter. I can't remember who the person is, but I think the information is going around. And this article basically says the Division Heartland playtest date scheduled for late October, Ubisoft tells. So it appears that Ubisoft is actually, basically putting it out there saying we're going to be doing a test, another play test for the Division Heartland. Now, for those of you who may not know, you can actually sign up to be a part of this test. And I get it, it may be PC only, but at least that's more Division agents who have the opportunity to see what this Heartland game is about. And if it's under an NDA or under some level of, discrete agreement, then at least more people can get their eyes on it. So one of the best things that I think this community, we're really good at is actually getting our hands on things like these. But again, I just feel like we need more people to continue to pay attention to these things because it's actually pretty, important. Now, some people may say, well, it's PC only and I'm not able to get in on there. But if you go through the sign up process, you're going to find out that you can actually sign up on every different platform that's available. You can sign up with your console, you can sign up with your PC, and you can also sign up for a Stadia test as well. Now, the Stadia test is where that, secret sauce is if you don't have a gaming PC. If you have a regular PC with a good internet connection and a browser, you can play on Stadia. So I think that excuse, basically needs to be something that we put to rest by saying, oh, we can't play the Division on PC and all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Many people have laptops that are very good computer pieces that have good browsers, and all you got to do is connect the controller to it. So I think these actions are things that here in the community we need to take to continue to advance this game forward. So I thought I'd put that out there because I felt it was really important, because the more people that can get in on this stuff, folks, the better it is. I mean, think about it. If we can give all this maximum feedback to Ubisoft Red Storm, this is Red Storm, smaller than massive, I think we can make an impact to the development of this particular Division Heartland game, because this game is more than likely not doing the Division thing that Ubisoft, and Massive have been doing, where they're dropping, a few, huge hundred numbers of developers. This is something where I feel Terry and the team over there at Red Storm might be more willing to listen to the community, because this is their time to shine, and they understand that them shining is actually quite contingent on what this community is able to bring for them. But I'll leave that part of the conversation and actually move on to the second side. So just a few days ago, the Division community was in a tizzy. A lot of people lost their account access, and actually I thought this was a very interesting take. Now, it was kind of shocking at first to me, but then eventually I started to just sit down and just watch a lot of the reactions of agents within the community when they found out that they had, or when they thought they had lost their progress in the Division. Man, some people threw a fit. Some people flipped. Some people didn't believe their eyes because they had thought that they had lost, all of their work and all their progression, which is basically what brings me to the discussion of how much of a genius level the RPG looter shooter genre is, and especially the Division. Now, why were people in a tizzy? The reason is very simple. A lot of people have put in a lot of time and effort, and they've put in a lot of, investment into this game, and for them to actually be in a position where they think they lost a lot of that progression, I think really challenged some people's state of mind. Some people were really upset. Even people who probably were not playing the game were probably upset that their character that they haven't cared about in years, was in a position where they probably won't be able to get it. Now, I already knew that this was not going to be a problem, because games like this always have your data backed up. This is the core of what the engineers do. They're engineers who just deal with your server side progress and progression and all of the loot that you've been able to attain. In fact, everybody should have known this. If you actually think back to the Warlords of New York fiasco, when they were able to roll back everybody's progress who they thought were using the glitch, to about 2 weeks worth of progression loss. So that kind of precise rollback should have clued a lot of people into knowing that, okay, our data is somewhere. But I thought it was really interesting and important to see how people reacted to this news, to this message that, you know, your character is probably not going to be there. And in that time period, I was actually ill. I came down with the and, you know, it was really interesting to just go back and just look at a lot of reactions in the community. In fact, our fellow content creator Kamikaze Von Doom made a video saying my character is gone, and I was like, oh, come on, Mr. Von Doom, you know that Ubisoft is not going to do something that stupid. That is a rookie move when it comes to the whole game development thing. But again, I think, you know, it's also really interesting and, you know, important for us to remember these kinds of reactions and see that we do hold this game to a very high regard, because we've put in a lot of time and a lot of work into some of the parts of this game that we consider the best part of the Division. If you think about it, some people have progression in the, you know, in the days of gameplay. Some people have progression in terms of days and hours of farming to be able to get their gear, to be able to, you know, improve their character. And then all of a sudden that, you know, that thought of losing all of that, I'm sure was quite devastating to a lot of people. And so this is something very interesting and very important right now. So I felt this video was quite pertinent to make, to talk about this, because with the Division Heartland in the works, I think we have an opportunity here in the community. Whatever Massive is doing in terms of coordinating the new content piece for the Division 2, that's also a really cool aspect in its sense. But I think with the way Red Storm is structuring this free-to-play game, it just, you know, in a sense, occurs to me that there might be a lot more leeway to have more conversations with the community, because the Division Heartland is a game that's kind of, you know, starting off the ground. So I think this is where, even as content creators in this community, we have an opportunity to start making videos talking about what we would love to see with the Division Heartland, talking about systems, talking about mechanics, talking about possibilities, talking about even things that could influence the Division Heartland down the road. And I think this is an opportunity that we probably are not taking advantage of, because, you know, within the community, there's a lot of the talk about, oh, you know, the game is dead, the game is dying, and all of that. But I think in this kind of attitude, or if we adopt this kind of attitude without actually seeing what the big picture is, we may miss out on the opportunity overall. So I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Are you going to go sign up for a potential test for the Division Heartland, or do you think it's something that you don't necessarily care about? I recommend that as a Division agent that you find a way to do this. I will try my best to leave a link in the description for you to be able to sign up. All you got to do is log in with your Ubisoft account information and you select your platform. And I'll recommend that, you know, for those of you who may be thinking that, you know, Stadia is probably a place where you can play if you don't have a gaming PC, I'd recommend that, you know, you use Stadia as well. Now, the thing is, you can also change platforms. You don't have to be locked into one. So if you decide later on that you want to switch to a different platform, or maybe you're in the works, you know, to build a gaming PC to be able to, you know, just get in on these tests, you can go back and change to the PC platform as well. But thank you very much for listening to the video. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are amazing. Thanks for your participation in all the content, and even for your patience, because if they're going to be bringing content, it's content that everybody wants to be able to experience. And I think they're going to bring content because it's important for them more than it is for us, believe it or not. Peace out.